Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. It's great to see you all again here with Get Started with Vendasta. And welcome to our session today on the AI Voice Receptionist, from missed calls to instant captures. As always, I am your host, Nathan Yaworski. I'm a customer success manager here at Vendasta, and I'm joined today by my fearless leader, Rashida Ben Sharif. She is the manager of customer success, not to be confused with customer success manager. We've got a real Monty Python thing going on there. But happy to have Rashida joining us today. She is going to be fielding the question and answer section and managing that today. As always, we are recording our session, and as someone who has registered, you should receive a replay link after the fact. We'll also be posting this on our YouTube playlist, and if you haven't already bookmarked that, we are going to throw up a little a link for you to right-click, open in a new tab, and then save for later. This is going to have all of our previous recordings there in one convenient playlist. So if you're looking for something that you saw 6 months ago that you want to review, you don't have to go back through all your replay links. You can find it right here on the YouTube playlist. Thanks so much, Rashida. As I mentioned, we will be also having a question and answer session following the walkthrough presentation here. So please do put your questions in the Q&A section. It just helps us keep track of it a little more efficiently. We will be keeping an eye on the chat as well if questions end up in there, but please do us a solid and throw your question in the Q&A section. Would really appreciate it. And of course, yes, always are able to access past webinar recordings on the Vendasta content library. This is not just our webinar, this is things from the past like Workflow Wednesdays or Build Mode. Those can always be accessed from days gone by right here on our Vendasta content library. So we are going to start by talking about the AI Voice Receptionist. Now, imagine, if you will, that I am a roofer, and this boggles the imagination. Clearly, I don't have the burly arms of a roofer, the tanned complexion, but stretch your imagination a little bit. I am a roofer. I own my own business, and I want to make sure that I'm getting every single lead that I can. Now, the problem is, because I own my own business and I'm a roofer and I don't have a huge staff, I'm the one taking those calls. So if I'm up on a roof hammering in shingles, I'm not going to be able to pick up the phone if somebody calls in looking for an estimate or an emergency roofing job. I need some help. I don't really have a whole lot of money laid by to hire a whole staff staff person to handle those phone calls. I work out of my house. I don't have a receptionist desk. So what do? Well, in the Vendasta platform, the answer is very simple. You have the AI Voice Receptionist. This is an AI agent that can take phone calls when you're not able to, just to ensure that every single potential lead doesn't just end up in your voicemail. It can actually talk and have a conversation with someone. So I'm going to hop into our partner center, and we are going to look at this right now. Now, the voice receptionist is available one of two ways. If you're a Vendasta partner on a professional or premium subscription, you have access to it in Partner Center in the AI menu under Workforce and under Voice Receptionist. Now, if you are a client or a starter partner, you can still access the Voice Receptionist. You simply have to activate Conversations AI Premium to get that Voice Receptionist feature. Now, I'm going to work mostly out of the Partner Center version, but the setup for the Business App version is going to look essentially identical. The only difference is clients and our starter partners who are using this service are going to be working on a business app for that setup, as opposed to Partner Center, which is just for you folks, our fantastic Vendasta channel partners. So, as I mentioned, under the AI menu and Workforce, once you have the correct version of Conversations AI activated, or you are on a professional or higher tier subscription as a Vendasta partner, you'll come in here and we're going to click on Configure our voice receptionist. Now this screen is going to look very familiar to those folks who have been attending our Training Tuesdays, or those folks who have been getting their hands dirty with the AI in our platform. At the left here, you can give your voice receptionist a name. You can choose a different picture. We've got lots of options, including some fun animals like a beluga whale over here. Or you can put your own in. There's also the ability to pop your own files in there. We're going to stick with the beluga because that's great. And this beluga is going to be called Steve. Next thing we want to make sure is we are addressing the pillars, those 3 pillars we always talk about of the Vendasta or the AI's knowledge: the role, who the AI is, the capabilities, what the AI is going to be doing, and the knowledge, what the AI knows. So first, we have our role. Now, this has been built out very simply but effectively by our team for you. You don't have to make any changes here. If you do want to make changes, this is where you would do it. If you want to change the tone that the AI is speaking in, or give it additional instructions as to how it should conduct itself or what its purpose is, it goes in the role. The next place I'll show you is we have the speech section. Now, I'm sharing a tab, so hopefully you can hear. But if I wanted Steve to sound very masculine and I wanted to choose Cedar and we play it.
How can I assist you today? Whether you need information about our services, scheduling an appointment, or speaking with a team member, I'm here.
Maybe not. Okay. Maybe I'm just hearing that. Anyway, take my word for it. You can listen to the, oh, there's a thumbs up. Some people heard Cedar speaking. So you can choose your provider. It defaults right now to GPT real-time, but we also have Deepgram, Aura, ElevenLabs Flash, OpenAI 4.0 Mini. So there's a few different models, each of which is going to have different voices, different features. We usually say whichever feature that you're or whichever provider that you're using, look for the little green recommended badge. We've found that those ones have a higher rate of conversationality, a less robotic sound, and does a lot less interrupting or mistaking things or leaving too long a pause. So look out for those recommended ones there. You can also have it play a pre-greeting message and specify what you want that message to say. So if you want to let people know they are being recorded, in some states that is required. So, you know, go by your local laws and statutes on that. But you can put that pre-recorded message there as well. The next thing we're going to touch on here is the capabilities. And as we mentioned, this is what the AI is going to be trying to do and the tools it's going to use to do that. First off, we have a capture leads capability built right in here, where you can see how we built out this prompt in markdown formation for you to be able to collect name, phone numbers, et cetera, et cetera. Also, we have the ability to have it record preferred booking times. If you don't want the AI booking meetings on your behalf, but you want them, the AI to get what meeting times the client would like, you would use this capability. We can also add other capabilities in here, including the next step up from that, which is book appointments. If we look at book appointments and add it in here. Now, this is directly tied to your CRM's My Meetings functionality. So in your CRM here, under My Meetings, you would set up and link either your Google Calendar or your Microsoft Calendar to the platform so that the AI would be able to actually make those bookings for you live on the call. Once those are set up, you'd be able to select an event link to book with. Now, I can't see any here because one of the weird foibles of our platform, you can only ever see your own calendar link. And I'm not a salesperson in here in Amplify Local, so I'm not seeing any links there. You can't impersonate your clients to see their calendar links or set them up for you. You can't do the same for your teammates. Every person who has a meeting link has to do that setup themselves, and then they'll only be able to see their own link. So that's a little caveat there. Coming soon, I am told. Right now, you can just choose one calendar link to book with, and it'll make that appointment based on what the parameters you've set for that meeting, how long it is, and how what the meeting's called on the calendar and all that. But coming soon, I'm told by either end of month or early May, we are going to be rolling out an ability, or a capability rather, where the AI can book multiple service types on the same appointment. So let's say if I'm a hairdresser and a client wants to not only book a color, but they want a haircut before that haircut and a dye job. The AI coming soon will be able to book both those services on that same schedule. Not there yet, but keep your eyes on the change log. That can be found up here. If we go to new releases, this little badge in the top corner, and go to see all changes. It'll open up our change log menu for you, and those new releases will be announced there. Finally, we have another fun functionality in here under our capabilities, the transfer calls. Let's say you would like the AI to essentially replace your phone tree, where, dial 1 for sales, or to speak with John, dial 3. You can have it set up the ability to be able to transfer calls under specific conditions. So if we add that in, let's say we want to transfer it to me with my fake number here. And the criteria is when a caller asks to speak with Nathan. Now the AI will know that if somebody asks to speak with Nathan, it will transfer that call to this number and it'll show up on my cell phone. So a nice little functionality there. You can add multiple numbers in there as well. So if you have a larger team or different departments, this is a great way for the AI voice receptionist to be that first point of contact and then get the caller to where they're going. It's another use case for the AI receptionist. Won't be ideal for every organization depending on your size, but it's there for you if you need it. And then lastly, very quickly, here, we'll get this out of here so that I'm not breaking our demo. Lastly, very quickly, is the knowledge sources. As always, you can add knowledge by plain text, scraping a website, or uploading a file. Now, if you've already added knowledge, like your website, to the chat receptionist, for instance, the widget on your website, that'll show up in this little drop down when we click add knowledge, and you can see, oh, all the previous knowledge that I've assigned elsewhere is also here. So I can just assign that now to our AI here. So now it knows the website and the contact page. There we go. Finally, we want to be able to set up the specific triggers. Now, if we go to up to the top here, we go to settings, click on that. Now, you're going to notice there's a phone number here. And if there's not, it's because you haven't set it up yet. And there will be a prompt for you to claim a phone number. Our system will do its best to find an available phone number in your local area. Generally, it does a pretty good job of finding the right area code. Every now and then, it'll find an available one that's one area or two areas over. That is only a huge problem if you are wanting the AI number to be that first point of contact, like have it on your website and listed, and you want to make sure it's a local number. You can, if that comes up, you do have the option of reaching out to support to see if there is an available number in your area. We can't guarantee it, however. But the good news is, in most cases, you won't have to put this number public anywhere. You'll just be forwarding your regular business number to it. I don't know if you can see very well here. I'll make it a bit bigger. But you can see, to trigger missed call text back, enable AI call handling on your existing phone line, you can forward callers under certain conditions. So we can see we've got conditions for mobile and for landline. If you run your business and you've got an office phone plugged into the wall, you would open this and follow these instructions. And you can see there are a few different scenarios. So you can have it forward all incoming calls immediately. If you just want the AI to be that first point of contact, you can turn that on. You can also have it forward when the line is busy. So if your current receptionist is on the other line and can't take the call, rather than going to voicemail, it would forward then to the AI. And you can forward calls when there's no answer. Let's say the receptionist had to run outside to get a cat out of a tree and people are calling. That call won't get missed. The AI will pick it up. You simply pick up your landline, you dial *92 or *90, and then dial that forwarding number, this one up here. Mobile, it's very similar. You would dial these much longer, more complicated codes if you want to forward calls if you don't answer after 10 seconds, or forward calls if your phone is off or have no signal, or forward calls if you're on another call or you decline the call because you're just busy and can't take the call. If these 3 codes have been activated with your mobile number, that will trigger that response and the AI will take the call. Now, some folks may have an internet phone service, a VoIP. In that case, I believe I would start with mobile here, but there are some, I know Google Voice has a little bit of trouble with these codes. What I recommend for something like Google Voice is set up the forwarding on Google's end. So go to Google Voice and set up a rule with Google Voice that if I don't pick my phone up in 10 seconds, forward to this number. And that's the way you can set it up outside of the system. So lots of different options there. Now you can also see, now that we've set up that forwarding, we want to know what to do when a call is received. It's going to default when you're first setting up to end call. You don't want it to end the call when the AI number gets dialed. You want it to answer with AI. You can also have it forward the call as well if you want to bypass the AI altogether, but I don't know why you do that if you've purchased an AI phone solution. So most of you are going to be using Answer with AI. It'll pop up with our voice receptionist and give you a path to configure Steve there if we want to give him any new instructions. And there is also the option, after a call is completed, to follow up with an SMS message. Now, for folks in the United States, this is going to require what we call A2P registration. You have to submit your business information and the information of the owner of the business to the powers that be to have it reviewed to ensure that the SMS capability is not going to be used for spam purposes. Now, in order to check that, we're going to go into Conversations, up to the More menu here, and we're going to go to Conversation Settings. Now you can see under Phone and SMS, I've got a little banner here that says Setup Required. I've got my number assigned already, and if I hadn't got my number assigned, there would be a button here that says Claim Phone Number, and you just click that number, and that will automatically claim that number for you. But for those US-based businesses, we also have this Register Now button. You have to click on that. That's going to bring us to our registration for A2P screen. So here we have your business information, your type, your region of operation, the EIN number, your address, your website, and then the information of the authorized representative of the business. On section 2, we have the campaign information. This is where we're telling the people who are doing these approvals how your business is using SMS, how you're collecting consent for that SMS, and providing the links to your privacy policy and terms of service on your website. If you don't have a privacy policy or terms of service on your website, I would recommend that you get one and get a page on your website for it ASAP, especially if you're planning to use this functionality, because your A2P registration will be rejected if they don't find the privacy policy and terms of service on your website. And there's specific language that that you need to use in there about SMS data and how you collect it and how if at all, you distribute it. And it's required for that registration with carriers. So you can specify if it's going to be marketing or transactional text or a mixture of both. You can let them know if you collect consent verbally, and if you do, you have to put in the script that you use. So instead of business name, I would put, in this case, Amplify Local Marketing as part of our service, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the script, and then I would put that in there, how I intend to share or collect this consent verbally from customers. If you have a web chat widget, like most of you will, if you've installed our web chat widget, it will say, do you have one embedded on your website? You'll have to say yes or no. If you don't have one, it's easy. If you do have one, you put the web chat widget URL. So if you have it embedded on a specific page, you would put that page. If it's the floating widget, Rashida or someone correct me if I'm wrong, but if it's the floating widget, I think you just put the main homepage of the website. Is that correct? Anyone? Throw me. I'm getting a thumbs up from Andrew. Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew. And then the customer information form. If you have a form that collects customer information for the purposes of setting up SMS campaigns, they want the URL of where that form lives as well. Your form has to include separate consent checkboxes for each type of messaging, both transactional content, marketing consent, and also disclosure. So both checkboxes should state the message and data rates may apply, message frequency varies, and the customer can reply stop to unsubscribe. So you have to have all that set up in addition to your privacy policy in terms of service. And here's how they want you to be wording your privacy policy there and your terms of service as well. And then you link to those pages on your website. Once all that is set up, then what you're going to do is submit. We'll click next. It will submit this information. It usually takes up to 7 to 10 days, business days rather, for that information to get reviewed and either approved or rejected. If you get a rejection, it will let you know in platform, this was rejected, and you'll have to try again. Unfortunately, they don't really give you a lot of detail on why they rejected you. So best practice is to go through this this whole list here and really, with a fine-tooth comb, make sure everything is being addressed before you submit, just to make it as easy as possible on yourself. We've also had some success with partners using AI to look at their website and then say, what do I need to do to improve my chances of A2P registration being successful? And the AI can sometimes help with that as well. All right, SMS registration and configuring. Once that SMS is set up, you can click this follow up with an SMS message and specify what sort of message you want to have in there. If it's just a hey, thanks for calling, it was great to connect with you, and then putting something, my best practice is putting a question or a statement in there that if you have any more questions, you can always text us here. Because the other great thing about this is they could respond to that text message and the AI would continue the conversation via SMS. So when you receive an SMS, you can set it to reply with AI, and that's when your chat receptionist takes over. And that text conversation, just like the voice conversation, just like the AI web chat widget conversations, would all appear in our conversation section here. As a reminder, if it's somebody who's given you enough information to be considered a contact or a captured lead, that's a name and an email or a name and a phone number or a name and both, they're going to show up in the inbox section of conversations. If not enough information was captured, the conversation still gets saved. We would just click this drop down that says inbox and go to anonymous web visitors down here. And this is where all the tire kickers and spam end up. So you can kind of see the quality of conversations that you're getting and which ones aren't maybe giving enough information. And you can see if there's a trend as to at what point of the conversation they're cutting off, and then you can edit your AI capabilities and your AI role accordingly to try and handle those sorts of conversations better. All right, now as I mentioned, this all lives in Business App as well. We're going to share our Business App section, and it looks almost identical. On our left-hand menu, my goodness, we go to AI Workforce, and then we have the voice receptionist here, who they've called Jeff. And we'll go into Jeff, and you can see that configuration page. We've got some call forwarding set up, all that fun stuff. Now, it's important to note calls are limited to 10 minutes per call. This is simply so that one person isn't dominating all of your minutes. One conversation isn't eating up all your time. And future state, this is going to Conversations AI Premium and your Partner Center equivalent is going to include 300 minutes per month However, right now, you enjoy extra minutes at no charge until mid-2026. I'm not sure exactly on the timeline on that, but there is no limit. So if you guys, after you set up your voice receptionist, want to just call that AI number and test it out, go for it. Go nuts. There is no limit right now on the number of minutes that you have. That is about all I have for you today. So as always, we're going to hop into our audience Q&A. So do we have any questions from the audience that we'd like to share? Excellent. One from Jim. Thank you, Rashida. Can we actually transfer a call to a number with an extension? If so, can you provide a sample of how it would be entered in the call transfer section? That is a very good question, and I don't believe there is extension support, unfortunately, at this time. For feature requests like this, that's obviously something I'm going to take away from this, and I'm going to go talk to our team saying, hey, just some feedback. They would like extension support for call forwarding. But what you as partners can do, up in the top right of Partner Center, we have our help menu question mark here. Oh, and thank you very much, Rashida. We have a link to that as well. If you lose the link, you go to help, you go to give product feedback, and that takes you right to our feedback and change log page. Then we click the feedback spot. For this particular one, we would go Conversations AI and give a short descriptive title, something like call forwarding extension support or something like that, and then give some more details about what it is you're looking to see, and maybe a use case or a why, kind of the why you're asking, that kind of thing. Obviously, this is an easy why. And then once you've posted it, other partners can also come in here and upvote it. Our developers keep an eye on this this feature request section very closely, so if there are large trends in what partners are asking for, they can look to act on them in future iterations of the platform. So thank you, Jim. Very good question. Please pop that feedback in here. I will also take it internally, but if I'm being honest, they're going to listen a lot more if partners are going in asking for it than if I just come and give them a bit of feedback internally. Not that they don't love me, but they're also very busy, and partners come first. So thank you for that. Any other questions from here we go. John Guerra, I am curious, why not demo it on the business app version, not in the partner center version? It is 100% one-to-one the same. That's a great question, John. And in this case, the setup and training of your AI is 100% the same. The only difference is Partner Center feeds into your Partner Center CRM, Business App feeds into the Business App CRM. So normally, you're right. If I was demoing for Conversations AI, I'd want to be in Business App just to show you what the clients are going to see. Honestly, in this case, it's exactly one-to-one. But thank you, John. Can you forward to that number? So no need to put out an area number, but it texts back from that number too. Yes, so you could forward to the AI number. You don't need to put that area code, that AI number on the website, and it will still text back from that number. So yes, unfortunately, that would be coming from whatever area code that is. So in that follow-up message, it's best to identify the company. So it's like, hey, it's Steve, the AI from Amplify Local. Thanks for calling. Just so that they're not getting a blank text from somebody. Great call out there, John. All right, from Vic. Does the claim your number button need to be initiated by the business in order to get a local number, or the agency claim the number on their behalf and still have it be in their area code? It's a very good question. It, I believe, is drawing from the business information. Can I get any repudiation from my fellow customer success managers there? I'm pretty sure based on, yeah, I'm getting some thumbs up from Lily. Thank you, Lily. It bases that number, or the attempt to get that number, on the address of the business from the business profile. So the agency could go in there and click that claim your number. And I mean, if you're a local agency, chances are you'll likely have the same or similar, but in a lot of cases, if you have a wide net to cast, I definitely understand the hesitation there, but it bases it on the business profile location. Perfect. So you can set up all 3 of those mobile numbers. That's correct. So if you wanted all 3 of those situations for those mobile phone number triggers, the ones we were talking about in here, let me just share my screen again. These ones here, you would separately add each of these codes or proceed with each of these codes to set those 3 up. So in any of those cases, the AI would answer. You just have to type each code separately as a separate activation. Great question, Betsy. Are you familiar with Grasshopper? Any chances with Grasshopper phone numbers? I myself am not familiar with Grasshopper. However, if Grasshopper is a VoIP system, even if this particular forwarding doesn't work with it, most VoIP systems will allow you to create rules for call forwarding if a call doesn't get picked up. So you could add a rule, I would assume, natively in Grasshopper that says, if I don't pick this call up after 10 seconds or 5 rings or whatever the standard would be, forward to this number. As far as whether this workflow here works with Grasshopper, I actually don't know. That's a great question. I may be doing some research on Grasshopper next time I have a moment. Thank you. Why the other call received options? Is this a way to keep your voice receptionist set up, but you can temporarily forward or end for whatever reason? Oh, I see. Yeah, so if you wanted to temporarily suspend your AI without having to turn the product off, let's say you need it to be trained a little bit before you're happy with it, you can forward the call, for instance, to a different number and the AI wouldn't talk. It's mostly just so that there's an easy way to switch it off if all of a sudden you don't want to be using it. However, in most cases, you're going to just be using that answer with AI. Thank you, John. What if just email or just phone number that is inbox 2? No, that's correct. Yes. So if it collects an email, if it collects just an email and a name, yeah, it doesn't even need a name actually. If it collects a phone number, it will add a contact in the CRM, and I believe an email as well. Generally, they'll have given the name first because that's the workflow we've set up. But in this case, for instance, if somebody calls the AI and that hits it, we have that number already, and so that automatically gets added. So even if that person never gives us a name, that number is saved to the contact field in your CRM. Very good point. Thank you. Does the AI end the call at 10 minutes or does it just end at 10 and hang up? Oh, I think what you're asking is, does it just cut off? And you know, I actually, I would be open to hearing any of my team members, if you know of any partners who have had a call last that long. I haven't sat on the phone with it for 10 minutes myself, so I'm not actually sure. Since we have unlimited minutes, that might be something to test. And I may actually, after our call or after our meeting here, I may go and spend 10 minutes while I eat my lunch, just chatting with the AI and see what happens. It's a very good question, but I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. From Ron Jacobs, I have the chat widget on my website now. Do I keep that and just add the receptionist, or delete the chat and add the receptionist? So you would want both. You would want the chat receptionist on your website, and then the voice receptionist is a separate lead capture tool that operates independently from that. So you want both your bases covered. You want your web chat widget, and you also want the voice receptionist. And as I mentioned, the web chat, like that web chat widget, that's also the one that's going to respond to those text messages as well. So either way, you'd want both, even if you don't have it on your website. But definitely, I would recommend keeping it on your website, continue getting leads that way, and you've also got your AI voice receptionist gathering leads from the people who call and don't get through to you. All right. Did I understand correctly that my website chat receptionist is automatically connected with my voice receptionist? Yes. So this connection, when you switch to reply with AI, that's automatically going to put your chat receptionist in there. You don't have to set that up manually. What you do have to set up is, here, let me click save here. What you do have to set up, click back, please, is make sure that you are going in and configuring each of them with the knowledge that they need. So if I put knowledge on my voice receptionist, it's not automatically going to add it to my chat receptionist. You'd have to go and assign that knowledge specifically to the chat receptionist as well. But as far as linking the two for that SMS response, there's no extra setup you have to do.
That was our last questions from William in our Q&A. If anyone has any additional items or any other questions, please pop them in the chat or the Q&A in the next couple minutes, and then we can address them. Otherwise, thank you all so much for your time.
Okay, well, I'll start my my play out here. Thank you all so much for joining us. As I say, it's always so much fun coming up here, seeing everybody in the chat, seeing everybody in the questions. Really good engagement today. Now, if you are looking for a sneak peek of next week, we are going to be demoing, well, not demoing, I guess, kind of demoing, building and exploring the AI Inside Salesperson Custom Agent. You might remember about a month ago, we talked about some custom agents that we as a team had built out in the back end that can be easily added and easily configured under those custom agents. We're going to dive into one of them, and that's the Inside Salesperson, to help your sales team qualify the leads that are coming in. So look forward to that. If there are no other questions here in the chat, looks like we're good. Okay, well, I am going to call it there. Thank you all so much. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, and take